Hi folks, my name is Jeff Rugrock for All Things Code. I can stop saying that anytime, I guess. Anyways, so earlier we talked about fitting allowance and the relationship between the centerline radius and a fitting allowance being quite common and usual. We drew a long radius 90, but for drawing number 1, in order to get the full 1%, you also have to do a short radius 90 or the not permitted 90. So we're going to draw in 1:1 scale or 16 scale, 1.5" short restricted 90, and we're going to go with a fitting allowance that is less than the pipe size. So 1.25" fitting allowance or radius for an 1.5" 90. I've already taken the liberties of putting a piece of pipe into this first 90, and I did that by just projecting our 1.5" pipe size over to a piece of pipe. We are using the approximate inside diameters, so this is all just representational. It's not by any means an engineering drawing. Anyways, so I'm going to carry on by projecting my center line over, and don't be afraid of overdrawing it because you're just using your initial lines. I have already decided to put my socket where these hidden lines are. So it's going to be about 3/4 of an inch deep, just as it was on this side. And it was going to be approximately 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch shoulder on it. And again, once you get to the point where you know where your line starts and stops, you don't have to use your light initial lines. You can go quite bold. And for me, because it works better for my scanner, I'm just going to use a marker. So there's the socket. For my next elbow, which will be facing the short radius 90, which will be facing the long radius 90. Perfect. So I said we're going to have an 1.5" or an 1.25" fitting allowance on this one. So from the center of this socket to the depth of the engagement on the next is going to be 1.25". So that means my next socket is going to be over here somewhere, because we're going to come around to it. And then we simply set up there, set up here. So there's my fitting allowance, and I'm using that as my centerline radius. And then I have to do my pipe size. So my inside radius comes to the inside of the pipe. And then my back of radius goes way out there. This is not the best compass. And there's the body of my fitting. And you'll see how my socket is going to be up here as opposed to down here with that one. Again, 3/4 of an inch deep. Sockets are generally about half the pipe size. And, oops, do about 3/16 of a shoulder. So that's it for your short radius 90. It's about finished. When we come back, I'll show you how to dimension this drawing and make sure it's labeled up just like the course outline and your evaluation plan is asking for. Anyways, that's Jeff Rugrock, All Things Code. See you in a short bit.